Who sees better adaptations to strength training as they get older, men or women? If you look at some of the data and the science behind it, what you notice is when females start lifting with purpose, so going from strength endurance to pure strength, lifting heavy, and adding in reactive strength, plyometrics, the adaptations from these training sessions improves their power output on a bike and their endurance capacity. When it comes to perimenopause and menopause, what about gaining lean muscle mass? Surely that's going to predict what I can achieve. Well, the answer to that question is no, not really. Yes, going through these hormonal fluctuations in perimenopause and menopause is going to make things difficult, but the same thing is true. Stay focused when you can and lift heavy with purpose, eat enough protein, and the adaptations still take place. And what about men as they hit 40 and above the way? Yes, our testosterone starts to drop down, but that doesn't mean we can't actually grow our strength and maintain lean muscle mass. We just have to work at it. So are there any distinct differences between men and women as we get older? The more that I look into it, the more that I realize that we're actually fairly similar in the way that we should eat, as in terms of high protein, and the way that we should train, because we know that if we don't work on pure strength and reactive strength, we lose that ability, quality, and function in the muscle. So training it helps us hold on to it for longer, and that's good for our cycling and our longevity for both men and for women. So then why don't we see this happening in current populations of older cyclists? Well, I think it's because they just don't train with purpose in the gym. They are led to believe that they need to do less. They should not lift so heavy. They haven't been well versed in how to do that properly. And therefore, they're not really seeing the gains that they should be when they're doing their training sessions. When you look at the scientific evidence between men and women, especially as they get older, from the human trials, it shows that actually our training shouldn't be that different. There are certain few things we need to think about, but ultimately we do need to be pretty much doing the same thing. I'll wrap up this series tomorrow with why I still think master cyclists struggle with getting progress and the common nutrition mistakes that I see people make, and the science behind what we should be eating in terms of protein. This keeps shifting in my mind, but there is one thing that sticks true, and I'll talk about that tomorrow. So if you don't want to miss that, hit like and maybe drop me a follow.